तन्न सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः। गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवदेव। श्री साई देवा। Om Shri Sai Ram. Offering my most humble and reverential salutations at the lotus feet of our beloved Bhagwan. Sai Ram to all of you, respected elders, brothers and sisters. So thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. If I have to say, according to me, if there is any beneficiary of this whole satsang, I would say it is me. So I'm not too sure. So it's possibly a very selfish reason that I've come here, that I want to be a part of a Sai family. I just want to meet Sai family members. I come from a town, from a city where there is no Sai center, regular Sai center. We do have some Swami's devotees, but it's not very often that I get to listen to a bhajan session. So I'm very thankful to all of you for such a beautiful bhajan session to start the whole day with. Once we start with bhajans, we know that the whole day is going to be fine. Somewhere that is a conversation that we have with Swami. So thank you all once again for this, for the beautiful opportunity, for the blessing of me having to be able to come here and talk to all of you. And many of you, I'm too sure I'm quite younger than most of you here. So talking in front of senior devotees is definitely it's a little, makes me feel a little nervous, because the kind of experiences you've had with Swami in life and with multiple avenues. There used to be, I don't know if it's still a prevalent dialogue between a boss and a newcomer. They say, your age is less than my experience. So generally when they want to command you, they say, hey, you know what, your age is less than my experience. Or so in that sense, I feel so humbled, but given this opportunity, I will try to share this a journey of mine and a few experiences that makes us relate to Bhagwan, so that we can all have a collective satsang. So I joined the Sri Sathya Sai Higher Secondary School in the year 2009. and you all know that 2011 Swami took Mahasamadhi. So for 2 beautiful years, I had the opportunity of having Swami's darshan physically, and to be able to sing in his divine presence. But physically, again, if you see, Swami was quote unquote weak. He was on a wheelchair. He was being brought by some, the attenders or the sevaks of Swami. And Swami was talking apparently very feebly. Possibly he was preparing, all of us for his physical departure. But that was a time where the interactions with Bhagavan had become less physically. And even in the mandir, whether it was interviews or any of those things. But I had seen, seniors and senior brothers and everybody having wonderful interactions with Swami, and someday I wanted to, get to that proximity of Swami. So physically, I wanted to have an interview. I never got it. Physically, I wanted to sing alone, like sing a solo song, or, be able to go to Kodaikanal. I could not do that. Physically, I wanted to converse with Swami every day, where Swami asks me and Swami comes and tells me, you sing this song, you sing that song. I never had that opportunity. At some point of time, I was angry with Swami, especially after 2011. Like, I wanted all these and you never gave me all these. You gave everyone that. I could have been born 10 years before, or at least 15 years before. But I then realized while talking to seniors that everybody has this complaint about somebody who's in the past. Like if some devotee came in 60s, they would say the Pathar Mandiram days in 1945s, they were actually staying with inside the bhajan hall. So it used to be like, if you go to Prashanthi Nilayam, the Patha Mandiram, the first mandir of Swami would have possibly been this big, where that let's say this room was Swami's bedroom, and here is where whoever devotees come, they stay and sleep and everything. Now imagine that being just that much of a community. So now every 10 years somebody feels that the predecessors had a better time of Swami, and that's never going to end. But do I feel not blessed in any way? Do I feel Swami has not given me what I thought he would give? I would definitely say no. And this is one of the major revelations, at least to me, that he was trying to, even in physical form, keep telling that my blessing, if it has to reach you, it need not have only the physical form. All that you need to experience in my presence, you can also experience in my so-called physical absence. All that you need to do is just have the intention. So let's start with darshan, seeing Swami. So in my higher secondary school, we used to go every day to Swami's darshan. I was extremely homesick when I joined the 11th class. Almost for 8 to 9 months, I used to just call my parents and then every day cry, saying, does it mean that it was torturous? No, not at all, but just that I couldn't stay. It was a very uncomfortable scenario. You are staying by yourself, and but we would go to mandir, listen to that 45 minutes or 1 hour of bhajans and see Swami's darshan, and I would think, okay, maybe one more day I can stay. That bhajan session, the session that we have is so powerful that it just made me say, okay, one more day, some more time. And then so much so that I stayed on for 13 years in and around Prashanthi Nilayam, Vrindavan, Prashanthi Nilayam, and so on. So that I didn't want to miss any darshan, because I realized that was what was keeping me there. So one particular day, there was a faculty member of ours. He also said that, see boys, Swami is physically not keeping well, so you should not keep taking Pad Namaskars. You should not go on to Swami, go and put your letters there. No, wait for Swami to ask. But Swami physically was not, very interactive. So there were days where we were assigned, you can go and give Aarti to Swami. And after we give Aartis, we would go and give a letter to Swami and take Pad Namaskar then. And if at all there was a conversation that we start or Swami starts, then it would take it forward. But we were not sure if that would happen. But at least an opportunity to go and give Aarti or go and give rose to Swami. And possibly we get a few photographs because the brothers from Media Center would click when we were that close to Swami. So, and on that day you wouldn't believe, like means you take like multiple showers because you're going near to Swami. And then like you put all sorts of perfumes, and you know, we used to chew clove or any of those things so that it's like air freshener. When you talk to Swami, you want to be so presentable. That day was the whitest of dresses, you know, it wouldn't be a pale yellowish white, it would actually be white. So with all the preparations, we used to go and, you know, just for a few moments of being physically with Swami. And then one day sir just pointed out to all of us students in a class that, see, Swami's interactions have reduced, correct? But does that mean Swami is not going to talk or not going to give you a chance to come physically next to you, next to him? No. Then why do you go to darshan every day in a normal white dress compared to the day you would go to Swami on the day of giving rose, or, you know, you giving aarti? So what is special about that day and that is not special about all other days? So he said, on all other days, you are inherently imagining or possibly concluding that Swami is not going to talk to you. You're just going to go for darshan, sit far, and then come back. So which means you have already taken the first step of telling Swami that I may not talk to you, Swami, today, or you may not want to talk to me. So obviously when he's coming for darshan, he might maybe just take letter from you and it wouldn't go further. So somewhere that, you know, triggered me a little bit. And so I thought, because we used to wear whites for school, for mandir, almost 12 hours a day, let's say, on roughly we used to be wearing white dress, like 8 to 12 hours effectively. So obviously you repeatedly wear whites, they are going to become slightly yellowish and all that. So I decided that the white dresses for mandir were going to be different compared to what I wear for school. For school and hostel, I thought, means that's again a wrong conclusion, that I was thinking, okay, Swami is not there or whatever. But I thought, if I am going physically to mandir, to Swami, I'm going to wear the best of my whites. So every 6 months I try to recycle and, you know, buy those whites and just go sit. And if you're sitting in mandir, like during the bhajan group, we wouldn't be sitting elsewhere for giving letters. So I used to not be getting any chances while I was with bhajan group. But at least I made it a practice. I forgot about it and I left. One particular day there was a project, chemistry project for us in school, and that took time beyond the darshan time. So it became like 6 o'clock or 6:30 or something in the evening, and then somebody told that Swami is still yet to come. So I knew that I wouldn't be able to go and sit with the bhajan group because they would already be seated and singing would be done. So I thought at least I will sit in the alumni block in the behind on the gent side. So I wore my usual clothes, mandir clothes, and then I went and sat behind. And then that particular day, Swami came slightly, late, and that was also the time where Swami was mostly coming in cars because his health was not cooperating. It was already January or February 2011, and so Swami was coming in car. But somehow that day Swami came on a wheelchair, on the chair where he was apparently interacting and taking letters. And I was like, maybe I missed it, but at least I'm having darshan of Swami instead of car. He's come on the chair, so I'm happy. And then Swami goes on to the stage. So those days, whenever devotees come in large numbers, on an average day that year, there were at least 10,000 devotees. The Sai Kulwant hall used to be full, and then even the Purna Chandra was full somewhere in 2010 and 11. So many devotees used to come daily. So they started giving prasadams every day. So previously, if brothers get a chance to, it's again another chance to go physically to Swami. You take a bowl of prasadams, go to Swami, Swami will touch that and bless it, and you go, give it to everybody. That's all, as simple as that. Just that the first 3 prasadam bowls get blessed by Swami, and then they get to distribute right in front of Swami. So the previous days before, because Swami was coming in car, so those boys used to show the bowl from outside the car, and Swami would just show his blessing. That day Swami came on chair, and suddenly this brother from behind, he saw and he said, he came to me and said, actually among all these guys, your whites are looking better. So do you want to go to Swami? Means he need not have told this word, or he need not have mentioned about because I had forgotten. But he came and said, you tend to look, prepared to be able to go near Swami. So can you take prasadam today? I said, wonderful, definitely I'll do it. And that day, Swami was not in the car, so he was outside. So I went physically to him, and then Swami blessed it, and then I could distribute, and through the distribution, somewhere that Swami is watching you doing it. So you give one by one the prasadam. It's a very small thing, but somewhere I felt an acknowledgement from Swami that, you did not expect, but you had it in mind that someday Swami might call you. Just be ready, because anytime we don't know when the opportunity comes. So we need to be ready. So 2011 happened, and 2015 during my masters, we used to go for bhajans, sing and come back. But then this round of Parthi Yatra started, like devotees coming and singing and doing programs. And after the programs, they only used to sing bhajans also. So that day, someone like the Parthi Yatra singers had decided that they would be singing bhajans. So as a bhajan singer, I didn't have anything to do. Like that day we would just go, sit in mandir and come back. So now for me, the dilemma was, okay, if I'm not getting to go and sing and sit in the front as a singer, and if somebody else is going to sing, what do I do there? Like, should I can sit back, or I can go late. It may not matter. And anyway, Swami is physically not there. all these kinds of thoughts start coming. And somewhere I felt that was not the right thought. And even then, this was easily for 4 years after Mahasamadhi, and I still had this habit of wearing specific whites for mandir. And those whites that I wear for mandir, I had the habit of washing by myself. Like I wouldn't give it to the laundry person. So I would wash it myself. So I thought, whether I am getting to sing bhajan or no, I am going to just go for having his darshan. Now here I would want to just, take a step back to say, what is darshan? What is darshan, right? One is seeing him, right? One is seeing him, or he seeing us, or beyond that. But there is another thing which the Indian culture talks about, is the power of a kshetra. Kshetra is any temple. Like if you actually look at, talk about any temple or any traditional place, they call it a punya kshetra. They say it's a holy place. Why is it a holy place? They would not say the holy God. Like Tirupati is a punya kshetra, or Varanasi is a punya kshetra. They wouldn't say Venkateshwara Swami is a punya murti. Generally that's not the way it's told, right? The kshetra is important because when you go to that kshetra, you can feel the presence of that Lord, who is the kshetra palaka, or the kshetrajna that Swami calls it. So if Prashanthi Nilayam is the punya kshetra and Swami is the divine, the emperor or the divine lord of that place, then sitting by his presence is having his darshan. Like whether we go and sit for a few seconds, you see the Lord for a few seconds, doesn't matter. We just touching the soil, sitting there, is what is the having darshan about. So I thought I'm going to go well in time. So I wore these whites, and I started wearing those whites. And even if our bhajans were not there, I had apparently nothing to do in mandir, just go and be an audience. I thought I'm going to go there and sit. So this happened for a few days, and then there was this particular Parthi Yatra, and then those singers were seated in front, and then we were sitting right behind their bhajan group singers. And then all of a sudden, after the program, they were going for photographs. And then while they went for photographs, even the singers had to go because they were all the same group. And then they didn't know what to do, so they indicated, and somebody looked at us and saying, go sing. So right in the middle of bhajan, some of us went, and like just me and there was another guy, and we both went and we sang all the bhajans after that. It was like, I did not expect that to happen, but I could just relate that it is 2015, Swami is physically not there, and then I'm able to see that it is as though Swami called and said, okay, no padu, like this used to happen multiple times. Swami calling a singer in the middle of a bhajan, saying, give the mic to him and let him sing. So now that reassured me that having his darshan is just sitting in his presence. Recently, there is a cardiologist in Bangalore. He's a Swami's devotee. So he was teaching a very nice meditation session. He said the meditation session could be sitting in Swami's presence as though in the interview room. So it's no other, you're not talking, you're not conversing anything. Just assume that Swami is sitting in the chair and then maybe reading letters and just sitting. And imagine that you are sitting right in front of him, and then just close your eyes and feel his presence. See, feeling his presence is equivalent to having his darshan. They say Lord Dakshinamurti, the Guru, Mauna Vyakya Prakatita Parabrahma Swarupam. So what that means is the most important lessons for life, for the soul, are taught in silence. He need not communicate to you something that he wants to say, do this, do that. No, possibly when we sit in his presence, we might be prompted from inside, and the most important answers to our question would be answered. Possibly in a bhajan session, you would have all felt it, right? So you would have any professional thought process, anything, at least for me, some assignments or some research questions. I would be whole day, nothing would be happening, and I would just go for a bhajan session, 45 minutes, finish, and just after that, while walking out, I would be like, in the 100 lines of code, I will remember that in line number 40, I made I made the change from a capital letter to a small letter, and that's been the whole reason why my code has not been running. Now, this kind of visualization is definitely prompted because of his grace through his presence. So the next song talks about Anandam Tavadarshanam. It's a Sanskrit song. It talks about how blissful it is to have his darshan and feel his presence. वदनम् अतिमधुरम् कुटिलितकेशं नीरजनयनं वदनम् अतिमधुरम् प्रीणति मे मनसु मुखम् सुरुचिरवचनं सुललितकमलं हृदयं करुणालवालं सुरुचिरवचनं सुललितकमलं हृदयं करुणालवालं प्रवहति प्रेमार्णवम् विकसितकुसुमं मृदुमधुभरितम् आनन्दम् आनन्दम् सहृदचरणम् अविरतानन्द अनुबन्धम् श्री साईशं सहृदचरणम् अविरतानन्द अनुबन्धम् गरि समरि पमद पसदरि सरि मगरि सरि मगरि सरि पामरि दरि दस स पद ग म प परि म पद स सरि म पद स सरि म पद स रि ग सरि नि स दरि पद म प ग म रि ग दरि सरि नि सरि ग म गरि ग म पद स प परि स स गरि रि म गरि स म गरि स गरि सरि नि सरि ग म रि स रि स गरि स रि स नि द म ग म प म गरि स गरि ग स गरि ग स गरि ग स गरि ग म ग म स म ग म स म ग म स म ग म रि दनि गरि दनि गरि दनि गरि दनि गरि ग स गरि स नि परि स स रि स गरि स रि स नि द म ग म रि द म ग म गरि स रि स गरि स रि स नि द म ग म रि द म ग म गरि स रि स गरि स रि स नि द म ग म रि द म ग म गरि स स नि स नि आनन्दम् अवर्षयम् अनुपमाभिनवरूपम् विकसितकुसुमं मृदुमधुभरितम् आनन्दम् आनन्दम् अवर्षयम् So we had a school faculty member, and when he had joined the school as an English professor, his fortune was so much that his interview was taken by Swami in the 70s. So when he had to come and teach English, so there generally for teachers there would be a demo class, right? Like they teach a group of children, and the children along with the elders would be there to see, okay, how is this person teaching, how is this person explaining. So with the group of children, Swami was sitting in the first row for him in the class, and he taught, and then he was waiting in the darshan lines for getting to know, or he thought maybe a letter would come saying, okay, you're selected or you're rejected or whatever. And then during the darshan, Swami came to him, Professor, do you know the outcome of the interview you gave this morning? And then he said, no, Swami. And Swami said, you are selected. So the offer letter was through darshan, like he didn't have any formal one, but such a beautiful moment for him. So he had been a lecturer before in Odisha, and then he had come to the higher secondary school. And somehow, possibly, he was a person who would fall sick very, very often. And so, outside, when he was in the, in the previous college, whenever he fell sick, he used to take leave. And then in government colleges, you would have specific amount of leaves, and that's fine. And now he was actually staying in the hostel. So now, if you are teaching as a lecturer in the hostel, actually there is nothing called as a leave and no leave, because through the day you are waking up students to making them sleep, going and teaching in class. So your 24 hours is occupied. So there is no day you can ideally say, okay, I'm not going today. But initially when he had joined, he used to again fall sick in Parthi too, and then he used to apply for leave and not go and teach. But after doing this for about 4 or 5 times, he realized, no, this is not working out. What is the whole point if I am doing the same thing what I did outside, even after coming to Swami? There is no point of doing that. So he somehow, prayed to Swami, and, he determined himself that he is not going to take leave come what may. He is not going to take any leave. However sick he is, he will manage. And so, and then, when you make such promises to Swami, be very, very careful, because he's going to test you. The next thing is going to be like, okay, you promised me, let me see how you're going to keep that up. So he told that he mentally prayed that to Swami, and then the next time he fell sick. And this time he decided, no, I'm not going to, take any leave. Morning Suprabhatam onwards, the one and only companion he had was glucose. So he used to get the glucose packets, pour it in water, keep having. So he somehow managed to get up at 4:30 and wake up the boys by 5. And then see, school children, when they do Suprabhatam, it is possible that you are half awake and half in another world. So, sir used to, even when we were in 11th class, sir was there. And sir used to come and nudge us, saying, Sai Ram, Sai Ram, you're singing sweet Sai Ram name, so don't sleep, just come. And he used to make us, so he used to go around, not just sit behind for Suprabhatam. So he used to do that. And then his jogging time came, and then he took more glucose, and then he jogged. So a teacher would generally accompany the students for jogging in the morning and fitness. Somehow through the day he managed. He, out of 7 classes, 7 hours in the school, he had 5 hours to teach. Again he managed. And then when it came to darshan, he was almost giving up. And then there was this student, another student, who walks into the class and says, walks into sir's room and said, Sir, I'm feeling very tired. I'm having headache. I'm feeling sick. Do you think I can go and take rest? I don't think I'll be able to go for Swami's darshan. He said, he openly told that student, he confided and said, see, it's very similar thing is happening to me, but you know what? This glucose has been helping me. So you also take glucose. I will also take glucose, and let's go for Swami's darshan together. And then they took it. They went back. They went to darshan. And then while coming back, this boy comes running to sir and says, sir, something happened in darshan today. I want to tell you what it is. And so the very humorous part is, he wrote a letter to Swami that saying thank you. It was a thankful note saying, Swami, thank you very much that I was able to come for darshan today. I was actually feeling weak before, but I became better. Thank you so much. Just a small note of gratitude he had. And when Swami came out from during darshan, he came to this boy, took the letter, read it in front of him, and then before even this part of interview room happened, Swami was going around in the rounds and looked at this professor and gave a very mischievous smile. And then he did not understand what the intent of that was. But then when Swami came back to this student, took that letter, and then Swami gave back the letter and said, you go and thank your glucose professor. So, and then when he told that to sir was moved with Swami's omnipresence, right? Omniscience, knowing that he did not mention anywhere to Swami that I took glucose. But sir was also reflecting on another thought, that throughout the darshan, for him, glucose was in his mind, what I fall more sick. Whereas for this boy, there was gratitude that I was becoming better. So Sir, there is also another lesson that I thought was very relevant, that many a times we pray to Swami, like especially before exams, you would see Ganeshas in hostels, they would be surrounded by boys before the exams because you want to pray that, exams are good. Ganesha would get so many coconuts, so many pradakshinas before the exam, but there would be hardly anyone after the exam, right? So we have the habit of asking for something, but we possibly miss out on either acknowledging or thanking post something happens. You know what, this happened, Swami, I did it well or I did not do it well, but this happened. So this was the motive, and it was so wonderful to know that this was in the Swami's physical presence. There is another portion of, in 2000, this happened in 2010 2011 in Brindavan, and Swami was physically not there, and there is this student who prayed hard for his accounts exam. Next day was his exam, and he really prayed to Swami. In Brindavan, we used to go to Trai Brindavan, which is Swami's residence, and then go around the Trai. We talked to Swami just by going around the mandir, and so he went there and prayed to Swami, came out, did the exam so well. He was so happy that after the exam he ran back to Trai to say thank you, Swami. And as a part of giving his gratitude to Swami, he said, Swami, I'm going to offer to you a small, sadhana or activity as a gratitude. And one of the things that in hostel they used to follow, some boys used to follow, is keeping maunam, like not talking through the day, or generally Thursdays they used to have it as a day, saying this whole day I'm not going to talk to anybody. Basically so Swami would tell in his discourses that excessive talking is bad for students. That is the problem with memory loss. So many things. Swami would be like, excessive talk is... So that is also, excessive talk relates to the talk that we have inside the mind. So Swami used to, in many discourses, at least to the students, he used to say, so you start with stopping to talk outside so that you will know that there is inner chat, and then you will start trying to stop the inner chatting also. So that was the logic, but many boys used to take it very, very seriously. Unfortunately, while I was a student, I found that very, very difficult. And I also used to get angry with those students who used to, keep silent, because I'm talking more because of you, or, something like that. My logic was, I know it was bad, but we used to be like, just go to them and do all sorts of signs and simply just irritate them a little bit, prank them. But so this boy decided that he is going to offer, silence as his gratitude to Swami. So the next day was going to be the day of silence. And tonight that boy gets a dream of Swami. So, and then Swami comes in his dream and tells, you have decided to do this, right? It's not going to work out. And this boy was like, Swami, means you have to only take care, because this is an offering to you, and and then when he told that, Swami told him, beware of 3 people and beware of 3 instances. And trust me, in the dream, Swami kind of showed him like a small TV kind of a thing where he was relaying the incidents. So the incident 1 was after Suprabhatam, and then one of the friend walks in to the, after Suprabhatam, before breakfast. So one of his friend walks into the room humming a tune. And so what happens is, generally in hostel or when we stay together now, we don't have mobile phones. In hostel we didn't have mobile phones, so obviously no AirPods or anything. So it's not that everybody is in their own world. Our worlds definitely collapse. So sometimes when I am taking a shower in the common bathroom, somebody else is taking a shower, he hums a tune, I would continue that tune, and possibly we would land up singing that whole tune through the day, or somebody comes into the room singing a bhajan line and then you would continue, or suddenly everyone will join there. All those kind of things could happen. So in the dream, this brother of another guy from another room, he walked into this brother's room and he sang that one line, and everyone else in the room continued, and it was like everyone was nicely enjoying. And then he landed up seeing in the dream that even he started singing, and he was continuing. And then so that Swami showed as the first incident. Then the second incident was, he gets a notification that your mother has called. There were common phones. It's like, your mother has called. And so this brother goes and starts talking, and mother asks, how was accounts exam? So I did really well, and that's why I told Swami. And then in the dream he figures out, oh my God, I already spoke. So that second incident Swami shows. And the third incident is the evening. So the director of the campus also stays in the hostel, and he also happens to be the accounts teacher. So now he is very interested in knowing how this guy wrote the exam. So when he's walking out of bhajans, like we all walk out, in the exit sir was waiting, and sir asked, Aditya, how did you do your accounts exam? And he is very excited and lands up telling sir that, sir, I did so very well. And after talking, again in the dream he sees that he lost the thing. So Swami again told, be aware of these three incidents, three people. And then this brother gets up. Now firstly, he's happy that he saw Swami in the dream, but rest of it he did not believe. He said it's definitely a hallucinating kind of thing. I'm just playing out whatever is coming to my mind. And then after Suprabhatam, he comes back to the room, he's reading the newspaper, and then this brother walks into the room singing that tune. And everyone joins, and he's very careful, but at the same time he's getting scared because what he saw in the dream is actually happening. So he didn't sing. That other brother kind of took offense that everybody has joined me, but you are simply just staring at me. But he said, he just left it. And then lunchtime, like 3 hours later, lunchtime, same thing happens. The brother walks in and then says, your mother is calling. Your mother is called, she's online. And then somehow he sends a signal that he would talk to her tomorrow. Done. He was like, now see, the friend and mother, it's still understandable, but the third person is probable. Now he's the director of the campus. Now you don't want to go to him and say, I'm like, all these kind of things, like I did well, I'll tell you tomorrow. If he's asking you, how did you do, you better answer, how did you do? Or have a way of telling him formally that this is what it is. So first thing he decided was, he will not leave the dining hall until sir leaves. So he sat and he was sitting, and somehow sir was not leaving. And sir stood back and he was waiting. So this guy takes an exit, like a side exit, and kind of walks out to just realize that he's face to face with sir outside. And sir, as usual, asks, Aditya, how did you do your exam? But luckily he had a way to tell him, he had prepared for what if sir asks. And then next day, right after Suprabhatam, he went to sir and then narrated the whole thing. No, the whole point of this thing is, he just wanted to offer gratitude to Swami, saying, Swami, this happened, and you showed me your support by making me do this exam well. And this is what I wanted to give it back to you. His intention was fine. And he took that, first step. And then here is Swami, not just testing him, but leaking the question paper of the test, right? See, he told him well before that this is what is going to happen. These are the three incidents where I'm going to test you. You see how it's going to work out. And that is possibly, the love of Swami. In one sense, you see that 40 years back, he's showing his omnipresence through a student. He's showing it through a dream. And at the end of the day, he's showing it. He's making a point to show that I love you. So there is another senior person, many of you might know. He's from the alumni from the US, and he's a wonderful, wonderful Veena player. And at one point of time, again, when we go very close to Swami physically, it's like going closer to the fire, right? So sometimes, as much as it is very, very pleasing and making us happy, it can also, put our mind to games. So there is a possibility that your faith can be shaken. So at some point of time, sir felt like he was no longer able to believe in Swami for the kind of things that was being talked about, and somewhere he felt that his faith was just, not stable. So when he went to interview room, he wanted to be honest to his faith, so he was not touching Swami's feet or doing Pad Seva. He was sitting behind. He was trying to avoid, quote unquote, avoid Swami's interaction or being physically close to Swami. But this is a time where you internally know that Swami is the Lord, Swami is everything for me. But somewhere the mind is playing the tricks of, giving you, casting doubts, so many things. And then after a few months of this, again there was an interview for a whole group, and sir was right behind and he was not, sitting with Swami. And everybody after the interview was leaving, and Swami told, hey, you stay back. And only Swami made sir stay back in the interview room. And then Swami asked, Emra, what is happening? You're losing faith. I'm not too sure exactly about the conversation. But then Swami lifted his, the sleeves from his robe, and he asked, will you like laddu? He said, yes, Swami. Swami said, open your palms. And then Swami created laddu dripping with ghee, and it was just falling in his palms. Again, this is 40 odd years before. And in 2010, I was in 12th class. This insignificant, some random boy who calls himself Swami student, coming and now suddenly losing faith, casting doubt on the Lord, saying, are you really God? Means when you are from a Sai family, you are born into somebody who believes in Swami as God, you have seen Swami's photograph, you know the power of Swami, but somewhere is either the mind plays the tricks or whatever. I started having, Swami, I'm not able to somehow, believe. I want to see you create. I want to see it right with my eyes, and I don't want to have any doubts. And so I made myself sit in a position in Mandir. If you have gone to Prashanthi Nilayam earlier to 2011, you would know there were railings in the front, and there were steps. On top of that was where Swami used to be seated. So I was making myself sit on the steps so that I'm like, I can look like this and see Swami, and then I can see Swami creating something, and I can be like, test your faith, you're a scientist, seeing is believing, all these kind of random thoughts come in. And that particular day, everything was set. I was seated. It was USA Partiyatra, and everybody was in this blue scarves. I still remember. They sang bhajans, they chanted Rudram, there was a program, and then Swami called a Balvikas SSC student, and Swami was about to create chain, and I was like, here is my opportunity. And then somebody kind of stamped me or poked me from my feet. I was sitting like this because it's a step, you cannot sit properly like this. So I was facing sideways and sitting, and something literally poked my feet, and I had to turn around just to rub it, and by then Swami is already putting the chain on that boy. I am like, I missed it. This is cheating. This is literally cheating. Now I didn't tell you anything, I didn't talk to you, I didn't make any mess. I was just wanting to see if this is happening or no. And then you don't allow me to see this also. I felt so bad after that. But that night I had a dream. That very night. And Swami is sitting, but he's alone. I was sitting in the bhajan group, and Swami calls me. And then Swami asks, Emka, what do you want? And I shamelessly, Swami, chain. In the dream I told him chain. And then Swami starts doing that. I stop it. I stop his hand. I took his hand like this and opened to see what it was. And then there were those two strings hanging through his hand. And you know what I did? I in the dream, I pulled it out. And then Swami was like he was physically in pain. I was not satisfied. I pulled it again. And then he told me to wait. And then he took it out. And then he put it on my, around my neck, and asked, Ippudu Santoshama, are you happy now? No, whether I believe in him or no, how does it matter to him? What is he gaining out of my faith? It doesn't matter to him, right? Why should he do that for one insignificant person to show that I love you? I am here to say that it's okay, you questioned. I'm here to just say I love you. There was another brother, he told directly to Swami. He got the opportunity to tell him, Swami, I'm not able to believe that you're God. I'm not able to accept it. And Swami asked, it's okay. Do you love me? I said, yes, Swami. Keep that love. Everything else comes secondary. Just love me. Just love me. Nothing else is necessary. Just look at his life on the mortal coil. Forget the divinity aspect. Forget everything. If you have to go by statistics and see how many people you would have met in your physical life, and how many people, forget the omnipresence, forget the dreams, but how many have been physically, directly impacted through personal interviews from multiple countries, multiple regions, multiple languages, and one man has done that purely by love. What more is a proof that we need to know? Just emulate that love and nothing else is necessary. So the next song talks about, oh, when the darkness is falling away. And the darkness is basically all our ignorance and everything, and his love just overpowers it and then shows that, you know what, I love you. All that is what matters to us, and all that is what we also crave for, and we just need to give that back to him. Oh, when the darkness is falling away and a bright new morn is breaking the day. Oh, when the darkness is falling away and a bright new morn is breaking the day. Dreaming of you all through the night, thinking of you gives us joy and delight. Dreaming of you all through the night, thinking of you gives us joy and delight. When we remember your sweet smiling face and we think of your redeeming grace, oh, how we long to be with you, Lord. Sai Baba, my Lord. Sai Baba, my Lord. We love you, oh Lord. We love you, oh Lord. Life after life, be by our side. Life after life, be by our side. Lord of our hearts, we'll never part. Deep in our hearts, a melody's ringing. Deep in our hearts, a melody's ringing. Oh, how we long to be with you, Lord. Sai Baba, my Lord. Sai Baba, my Lord. We love you, oh Lord. We love you, oh Lord. deep within, I love you, Lord. Seeing my plight, He came by my side. He looked in my eyes and sat by my side. Seeing my plight, He came by my side. He looked in my eyes and sat by my side. With love in His arms and arms open wide, He said, arise, I love you too. Oh, how we long to be with you, Lord. Sai Baba, my Lord. Sai Baba, my Lord. We love you, oh Lord. We love you, oh Lord. Life after life, be by our side, Lord of our hearts. We'll never part. So the first step would be, we are far, we don't know about Swami, and then somehow He pulls us into His fold through bhajans or whatever it could be. And then it's basically He accepting us as we are. And the second step is making us love Him or showing us His love, His presence. And then there forms a relation. To some He's a friend, to some He's a companion, to some He's a guru, to some He's everything. But most importantly, this is something that Swami himself has told, that you cannot comprehend my love even with that of 1,000 mothers. Because one person's love that we can understand purely is obviously the love of a mother. And if it is 1,000 mothers' love, imagine how intense that would be. He's that mother. Very old times when Sanatan Sarathi was being edited by Sri Kasturi Garu, who is also the biographer of Swami. So during the Dashara festival, if you are follower of Sanatan Sarathi books, you know that the front page keeps changing after a few months. And that particular time during Dashara, Sir had taken a photograph of Swami and where he had written Shri Sathya Sai Mata. And then Swami had to approve that before it goes into publication. And then Swami looks at it and says, you can remove the word Sai there, just put Satya Mata. And then these words came from Swami, I am the only true mother because everyone else is Mithya Mata. Mithya Mata means not unreal but illusory. Like you might be the mother of someone possibly for this birth, but not for the next birth. But Swami says, I am the only true mother for all generations, for all your janmas. And that is the love of Swami as a mother. And he being the mother gets taken care of in very small things. It's like Swami once says, like how the role of a mother is, like when a baby is put to sleep, mother goes and does all other things, but her whole focus is actually on when the baby is going to cry or when the baby is going to give a signal that the baby needs the mother, and right away puts everything that she is working away to just go and address it. So that's the role of a mother, and that's how we know it. Now my thought was, when Swami is physically not there, how would I know that it is Swami who is doing it? How would I know that? The problem, I think, at least with me, is I feel I had a very specific form given to Swami saying this is how Swami should come. We have an expectations, right? Many of us might think that if Swami is going to give us darshan, he might have to give us darshan maybe in this form. But that's what Swami says, see me in everything, and there we will be able to know the presence of the Lord is in everything and everyone. So a very very small, maybe a mundane thing. So I one day went for like working out in the gym, and then I was doing this exercise called bench press, and I was going heavier and heavier with the weights over time, and it was quite heavy and it was beyond my physical ability, but I wanted to nevertheless try, and I wanted to finish 5 repetitions of that. The 4th one came, I finished, and the 5th one I wanted to do, but it was almost impossible. So in my mind voice I said, Swami, if you really love me, I need to finish this. It's a wrong, I know it's a mistake, but I said, if you really love me, I need to finish that. And I happened to push, I finish it, and then I was unracking the weights, and then there was a 25-pound one which I was putting it back, and promptly I dropped it on my feet. It was I was working out with a 45-pound one, but this is a 25-pound one. So it did not hurt, but right away, I just felt it as though it was a tight slap from Swami saying, don't joke with me anymore, like don't play with me. I love you, but better don't take me for granted. Like he made me do the 5, he showed that love, but somehow made sure that you don't, mess with me, right? So lesson learned. So the next time I was going beyond my weight, I was very careful. I was not going to make these statements. I didn't have a support person behind. I was working out alone that day, but I looked at somebody and I thought in my mind that if I get stuck, I will keep it on me and I'll signal that person to come back to me and, help me, lift that up. Like if it would be like I would be keeping it near my neck like this, and then I would just wait until someone comes and helps me. And actually it happened that I couldn't do the 5th one. It was stuck near my neck, but I was holding it. And I was looking at that one person whom I thought was close to me, and I was trying to signal saying, hey, can you come? But before I could do that, there's another person came running from behind and just undragged it and kept. And what that person said was very, very, it was insightful to me. Said that I saw 4 of them going, but the 5th one didn't come back. So I thought maybe you are in trouble, so I came running from here. So to me that really appeared as, now I thought that is the person whom I would want to reach out to for help, but there is another random person who's been seeing me through the 5 reps, like saying, observing that you did 4, the 5th one didn't go up. So that's when it revealed to me that when you actually need it, or when you actually cry it, because the mother actually knows what is a fake cry, what is a hunger cry, what is an actual cry. The mother can easily differentiate in the baby, right? So when you actually need it, you would know that that mother is actually observing you, your every minute detail. So there was another one of the bhajan singers' parents. They wanted to offer a silver box to Swami, just to have cloves, so that during the interaction they give the clove to Swami from using the silver box. So they just came directly to the interview and then offered it, and Swami said, you went to 3 places, 3 jewelry shops. The first 2 you didn't like, it was on this street and this street, and the 3rd one you liked and you finally got it. It was like a CCTV camera where Swami was telling them exactly what they did in Bangalore while sitting in Prashanthi Nilayam. Many a times it's very easy for us to forget his omnipresence and the fact that his eyes are always on us. It's just waiting that when he needs to intervene, it's right away, right instantaneous, without us having to feel or call out saying, oh my God, I'm in trouble. So the next song, O Sai Ma, is a song on the Divine Mother, Mother Sai. Oh Sai Ma, oh Sai Ma, oh Sai Ma, oh Sai Ma, हम बच्चों की प्यारी माँ, हम बच्चों की प्यारी माँ, प्यारी माँ साई माँ, प्यारी माँ साई माँ, प्यारी माँ साई माँ, प्यारी माँ साई माँ, ओ साई माँ, ओ साई माँ। तेरे प्यार में हम पलते हैं, फूलों जैसे हम खिलते हैं। तेरे प्यार में हम पलते हैं, फूलों जैसे हम खिलते हैं। जब भी मैं तेरी याद सताए, रो रो कर ये दिल बस गाए। ओ साई माँ, ओ साई माँ, ओ साई माँ, ओ साई माँ। तेरे बिन हमें कोई न आए, हर पल माँ हम तुझको चाहिए। तेरे बिन हमें कोई न आए, हर पल माँ हम तुझको चाहे। संकट की जब मिलाए, साई साई दिल पुकारे। ओ साई माँ, ओ साई माँ, ओ साई माँ, ओ साई माँ। हम बच्चों की प्यारी माँ, हम बच्चों की प्यारी माँ, प्यारी माँ साई माँ, प्यारी माँ साई माँ, प्यारी माँ साई माँ, प्यारी माँ साई माँ। I roughly have 15 more minutes, right? Yep. So, this was in my 12th standard again, and we do projects, very, very small, projects for our board exam. And the good part of it is we get to show those projects to Swami and get it blessed. Again, another small way of getting a photograph or getting a few vibhuti packets, small things. So somehow it was a process that was set for a very long time, that the computer science students and the bioscience students, they definitely go. And the previous year even accountancy students started, but there was a small group of us. We were maths, physics, chemistry, like MPC, but not computer science, Sanskrit or any other language. We were getting missed out. So I took the initiative. We went to the warden and said, sir, our group is somehow, like, we are a small set of guys who are not in any of these, not computer science, not biology, but we also want to get our projects. He said, okay, you can wait after these 3 groups finish and you take your chemistry projects. So we said, okay, fine. Everything, the deal was set. Somehow I was feeling very happy that through me, Bhagavan is giving chances to others. Firstly, that's a red flag. But yes, that started, Swami had to teach me something. So, and I went and told all our brothers that, hey, I spoke to Warden and, we are getting a chance and let's be ready. And so those days, it became a trend again, owing to Swami's physical health, that somehow Swami was coming only alternate days to Mandir. It almost became like that. So the previous day, Swami came something like evening 9:30 or something, like it was very late. And then Swami also called the computer science students for project blessings that day. And so by the time we came out of Mandir, it was almost close to 10 p.m. that night. So first mistake was I assumed the next day Swami was not going to come to Mandir. So the next day Warden told all you chemistry boys be ready and take it. So I had a chemistry project ready, but it was in a stick file. It was not a spirally bound or it was not looking great, but it was some random file, but it was a project nevertheless. I took that project, walked out of hostel thinking I would go. Then I thought and made this horrible mistake of assuming, firstly, yesterday Swami came and blessed the project. So today the probability of Swami coming is very, very low. 2, even if he comes, he's not going to call projects for blessing. So I might as well make it presentable tomorrow and show it to Swami rather than show it today. So out of amazingly acquired intelligence and ignorance across previous lives possibly, I went back and kept the project in the hostel and went to Mandir. And I'm sure you already guessed what happened. First thing, Swami came. And out of all the things that you feel happy about, that day I was disappointed. Look at that audacity that, Swami, you proved me wrong. That's our ego saying. Then, to top it all, Swami called the project boys for blessing. And now this, took me off. I said, this is not happening, Swami. It's like, if I had to do this, that means, that's something that we do. First is blame Swami. Second would be blaming ourselves, saying, I am cursed, Swami, you don't love me. I don't know what mistakes I've done in my previous life. All this I'm having to face. I don't have the blessing. I'm sitting in Bhajan Group and all my friends who got opportunity because I spoke to Warden are going to, get blessed by Swami, getting a photograph, and I'm never going to get this opportunity again, obviously. And I was so down. Thankfully, looking back, I'm feeling glad about that, but going through it was really bad. I was just sitting and sobbing. I didn't know what to do. I was sitting in the Bhajan Group while they were going. And then all of a sudden, me and my partner got mics and said, okay, next bhajan is yours. I said, okay, this is maybe at least some kind of, a cream on the wound. So, but I was completely closing my eyes. I was even not ready to sing the bhajan. But then I sang Sai Hamara Hum Sai Ke bhajan along with this boy. Never opened my eyes. I was just looking like this. But, all the feelings, because Swami has also acknowledged it once that when devotees come in the Mandir Darshan and they see me during Darshan, bhajans is somehow the way they speak to me. Whichever bhajan is going on that time is how they are trying to communicate to me. So that was what was happening, that bhajan, Sai Hamara Hum Sai Ke Aisa Prem Hamara, but I was kind of talking in an antithesis saying, Swami, what is this love? I don't know, I'm not able to get this. What's wrong that I have done? Why am I losing out on this opportunity? And I was seated like that. And then after the bhajans, after everything, I was walking back to hostel and one boy came to me and said, Ananth, like that. I said, hey, okay, what are you trying to say? He said, means you're lucky man, you're blessed, something he said. And then I said, see brother, I'm already disappointed. I know that I didn't get anything. You went to Swami, you got it blessed. Now if you want to mock me on that, let's do it elsewhere. I'm not in a mood to do it. He tried to explain, I cut him off and I walked off. And then there's another guy who was very close to me. And then this brother came and he was giving the Vibhuti packet in which Swami gave him, and then he was giving. So first of all, I was so envious that he got a Vibhuti packet, but nevertheless, okay, at least he's coming and giving me. And then he also said, did you know what happened today? I said, yes, everybody knows what happened today. I didn't get to show my project. And then he said, no, did you notice when I went to give blessing? I said, my eyes were closed and I was not ready to even see Swami. But then that's what happens, right? When Swami says, when you look to me, I look to you, does not mean that he looks at us only when we look at him, but it's like only when we look at him, we will know that he's actually been looking at us. So when he went for his project blessing, apparently that was when we started our bhajan. And so, see, again, physically we were not very close to Swami. So I was not sitting in like first line or something. I was in the bhajan group, sitting in 11th or 12th line. And so Swami stopped looking at his project. And then Swami was trying to find who was the singer who's singing this bhajan, apparently, physically. And then Swami stopped looking at the project and Swami started following the bhajan that I sang. Now we were leading through the bhajan. And I had absolutely no idea of this. But this was so at least soothing to me that, okay, I didn't look, but Swami looked at me. But still there was this feeling that those few more photographs, those few more Vibhuti packets would have definitely made a lot more difference, or possibly an interaction before board exams that would have added, But I kept carrying that. Again, every time you keep asking Swami, are you really seated on the throne? Why am I not able to see? How do I feel your presence? How do I actually, why am I not able to see this? And then I got an answer from one of the brothers of what happened in 2007 Kodaikanal. In 2007 Kodaikanal, Swami was on a wheelchair, but he also used to walk a little bit. So the best part of Kodaikanal was Swami and boys used to interact in Swami's residence like this, and then Swami's bedroom was a room like this. So they used to sit together after dinner, in the evening after dinner, no devotees, just the boys. And then, so after Swami interacts, Swami used to go back, he used to be on the chair, but he used to go back walking. But the cherry on the cake opportunity was, the guy who was sitting right in front, 1.1, got an opportunity to go and hold Swami's hand while Swami was walking into the bedroom. So some boys used to skip dinner or do whatever to make sure that they were seated in the 1.1, so that somewhere they get an opportunity to, hold Swami and take him inside. So on a set day, there was a brother who was, again blessed with that opportunity, and then he was taking Swami. Everybody was looking at Swami, and Swami looked at that brother, and then Swami looked at everyone and said, "Lucky, no?" Swami asked. And it seems all the brothers said, "Yes, Swami is really blessed that he's, taking you." And then Swami made this very, very important statement I'll carry throughout my life. Swami said, "Holding my hand is not important. Yearning to hold my hand is important." And then that's where you realize that all the Vagyakaras, Mirabai, Tyagaraja, Annamaya, Ramadas, everybody, all their kritis, all their things was all the desperation. Why do we consider Radha as the greatest devotee? Because of her love. Why are Gopikas and Gopis the greatest devotees? And Swami keeps talking about them all the time because of their yearning. We still don't know what we would do if Swami is actually there with us. But wanting that, yearning for that is the greatest. And when Swami said that, the only prayer was, "Swami, let me not stop yearning for you. Let me not stop crying for you. Let me not stop wanting to be in that physical presence. Maybe if I get it, I might take it for granted. Maybe if it comes back to me, I don't know. I don't know how my mind would play." Just the 2 years of physical presence and the mind was playing so many things. So let us keep yearning for him. And this was, 10 years fast forward. 2011, I couldn't get my project blessing. 2021, I was supposed to submit my Ph.D. thesis. And thick of pandemic, the second wave got over. Nobody's going inside Kulwant Hall. But again, through these darkest hours, that's where Swami shows somewhere some solace was. We used to go for bhajans. We used to be in the mornings, just four of us singers, and then one harmonium player and one tablist, and whole of Kulwant Hall, just the four of us, and singers singing, for Swami morning, evening, and the curtains would close, and I couldn't ask for anything more. And then I had to submit thesis, so I just there is another friend of mine. He and I were to submit the thesis on the same day, and we thought the only thing we could do is, because Mahasamadhi Darshan was not happening, because nobody was allowed to touch, or devotees were not allowed inside. So we thought we will request the Mandir authorities to help us, maybe get our thesis blessed by keeping the thesis near Swami's feet in the Bhajan hall, in the Bhajan Mandir inside. So we had requested the authorities, we went through the due permissions, and then both of us went and gave our thesis, got it blessed, and felt happy. One more thing that we did was, again, this is something that prompted me, that from our teachers, that whenever they used to finish thesis or when they had anything come up, Swami used to be so excited. It's like, show it to me, like, you got that, show it to me, that kind of a thing. So when we gave our thesis to print in Anantapur and they came back by bus, we didn't want to open it ourselves. So we took that whole carton box towards Yajur Mandir, which was Swami's residence, and we told the Sevadal, can you take, we are not allowed to come inside, but can you just take this carton box, keep it in front of Swami's room and open it there and show the first thesis and then get it back. So I wanted to be it like my thesis, Swami should see first before it comes to me. So we did that in Yajur Mandir, and then this evening we got it blessed in Bhajan hall. I felt I was good, and then my friend said, Ananth, what about outside? Swami's throne is there, Swami's Samadhi, Sannidhi is there. We should, I said, hey, pandemic, right? I don't think they're going to allow us. He said, let's do one thing. We are not allowed to go close also, but we'll just walk, like all the devotees, just walk and then go side. But while walking, let us, keep our thesis like this. Swami is sitting on the throne. So it will be like we have shown Swami that this is our thesis. Once again, like in Mandir, it would be a good thing to show. Swami's Sannidhi is also there. So, and I was little skeptical about that, saying, I don't think it will be great. But he said, come, let's do it. And then both of us were showing and going. And then one of the persons of the authority called both of us side and said, hey, you finished your thesis? Yes, sir. And then he told us step aside for a few minutes. And then my thought process was, he's again going to take us to Bhajan hall. And I was like, we finished already. And then suddenly, all of a sudden, after everything, before the curtains closed, they called both of us and said, show it to Swami. And now here I am, 10 years later, nobody's behind me, nobody's waiting in line. I was showing page by page of my Ph.D. thesis to Swami. And that was a chemistry project which I don't even remember the title. But here is something that I worked for 5 years, and I was showing him page by page. And while walking out of that is when this whole thing is coming to my mind. Oh my God, just imagine that after 10 years something significant is happening. Same place, same position, just that physically I'm not able to see him. But what more is required? Because my heart was spacing. I was able to feel through every part of my body. Possibly just the mind was still questioning, but just the heart had taken over, like tears were flowing. And that, showed me that his physical frame, the time that we talk about, are all immaterial when it comes to he wanting to show his love to us. And he can reach out to us in any way required just to show his love for us. All that we need to do is just pray to him and then have that yearning that, Swami, we want to hold your hand. We want to just come to you. And with that, we offer the last song, Madhura Mohanam. తండ్రి గురువు దైవము బంధువు నీవే సఖుడవెల్ల నీవే స్వామి నీ పదాబ్జములను నిత్యము కొలుతుము నీ పదాబ్జములను నిత్యము కొలుతుము సాయి రామా నీవే శరణు మాకు సాయి రామా నీవే శరణు మాకు